Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as a brand new season about to get underway here for the Hypershift Racing League. As drivers get loaded into the sim, each and every single one of them looking for the win here this afternoon from the beautiful Daytona International Speedway. And we are powered by Juicy Spider Studios and all of our other amazing sponsors here with the Hypershift Racing League. As drivers jump out onto the racetrack right now, practice quickly coming to a close here, so they're sliding out there. They're getting their final few laps in there, trying to work not only on their setups, but also with their teammates, trying to figure out how to, the best way to get around this racetrack, the best way to kind of set yourself up for a good day here this afternoon. Now, no points on the line here. This is the Hypershift Racing League. This is the clash here this afternoon. So it is the Hypershift Cup Series Buttkicker clash here this evening for the Hypershift drivers. That means no points, a lot of fun, a little bit of bragging rights for the first checkered flag on the season, but it's going to come down to qualifying here. The top two drivers, first and second in qualifying, will automatically lock their way in to our Daytona 500, the Hypershift Daytona 500, next Thursday afternoon. But tonight, those top two drivers, they'll put themselves on the front row for that race. They can still race here this afternoon. They have no risk, no reward, nothing else except for just go out there, have some fun. They already know that they'll be at the front of the field come next Thursday's race. But for all the other drivers outside the top two qualifiers here, they're going to have to race not only for bragging rights, maybe a little glory, maybe a little bit of payback from what might have ended their season last year, but also trying to make sure that they can set themselves up for a decent starting spot here next week, as our final positions will be filled in with the finishing order of tonight's race. So that means for drivers, if you can finish closer to the front of the field here, that means you're going to start closer to the front of the field when it comes time to play next Thursday. So there's a little bit on the line, but qualifying and starting positions here at Daytona International Speedway now, they don't really mean that much, as you can move up and through the field with the draft here rather quickly. So some drivers may prefer to want to start at the rear of the field, but I know each and every one of these drivers, they want to get off to a hot start. They want to build that momentum up. They want to have a good finish here and be able to start this season on a high note. So this clash, it's going to mean a lot for these drivers, man, to not only be back out there in action, their first broadcasted race of the season as well. They're not here just to, lay back and sit back. They want to put on a show. They want to put on a spectacle for all the fans in the stands. And my boy, Bryce Richardson. What's good, Bryce? Bryce are coming in, showing the love with that like on the stream. How are you, Bryce? How you doing this afternoon, brother? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful evening. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, be just like Bryce. Make sure you guys jump in, hit that like button on the stream. Hit the like, hit that share, drop a couple comments for us. Let us know who you're cheering for, who you want to see up at the front of the field, who do you want to see leading some laps or maybe qualifying on that pole position, and not only starting on the pole here for tonight's race, but also potentially starting on the pole there for next Thursday's first points race of the season here at Daytona. So there's a lot on the line, and we want to make sure that everybody that's on YouTube, that's on Facebook, that's on Twitch, that they get the opportunity to tune in and watch these amazing drivers. So tag your friends, tag your family in the comment section, cheer on your favorite driver, let them know that we're live and we are watching and we are going to see what they're doing, and make sure you guys, hit that share button. If you're feeling courteous, share it out to all your friends and family, or hit that subscribe button. The like button is the bare minimum, the least you can do to help us out here a ton. Every single like, comment, share, all helps push the stream out to more and more people as we'll get ready to play here in this one. The action just about to get started as drivers are out there on the racetrack. You can see a few of them still laying down some lap times here. We see Chase Abel out there. Is Abel looking to have a good run here in this one? Is Abel, oh, if I'm saying it right, I'm probably going to mispronounce a ton of names here, like Al Lincolns. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I don't know if it's Lincolns, Likens. Is it Likens? L-Y-Kins. Likens. I'm probably getting it completely wrong, but Al out there in that number 9 ride, the Napa Auto Parts machine, is him and three other drivers right there working together. They're looking to lay down some good laps here. They're having some fun. They're trying to figure out, how the drafting is working here this afternoon, as I know that there was rumors of potentially some of the drafting kind of getting changed up over the last update on Tuesday night. So maybe drafting's got a little tougher. Maybe things are a little bit more, out of pocket than what these drivers are used to. So they've been trying to, get as many laps in as possible, really see, where these runs come in. Oh, they're going to test out the damage model right here as well, down through the tri-oval as they get tied together. Gavin Grubbs, he's going to slide out there as well. The body armor number 12 ride, he jumps out onto the racetrack. We see the 36 of Gage Winsel. He was also part of that first wreck right there. We do see the DHL Express number 8 ride, trying to keep that thing pointing in the right direction as he gets into the grass there, trying to come back out onto the racetrack, and Kent Mueller will take his car back down pit road. We do see the 81, great looking ride out here on the speedway, the 81, the Podium Esports number 81 machine, a Scott Shiv out there on the speedway, as we got looking a lot of drivers, a great field of drivers. Dylan Picklesimmer, hopefully I'm saying that right, Picklesimmer out there, as well as Dylan in that 45 ride, the beautiful Air Jordan number 45 machine out there on the speedways. Yeah, it looks like we're looking at 31 drivers. 31 drivers loaded into the sim, each and every single one of them not only looking for the win here this afternoon, but also looking to try to qualify in that top spot, as practice has officially come to a close here. So qualifying is about to get underway. These drivers are going to jump out onto the racetrack. They get some lone qualifying here. They're going to get a few minutes. They're going to try to lay down their quickest lap times in the top 2 drivers here during this qualifying session. They will lock themselves in to the front row of our Daytona 500 here this year. So things are going to get a little exciting here. Things are going to get a little crazy, as we're going to see a lot of drivers trying to figure out the best way to gain as much speed as possible to try to lay down an absolutely amazing lap time. We do see James Hudson out there on the speedway. James Hudson, he's looking to slide out there. There's that number 2 ride, the Monster Energy machine. Here comes Christopher James as well, as James slides out there onto the racetrack in the 88 ride. The 4 of Daryl Johnson, he's out there in that Busch Latte machine, as we do see Ryan Cornister. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm probably getting it completely wrong. Cronister. Probably getting it completely wrong. I do apologize. Drivers, if you guys are watching, or if you're a fan in the stands or family member and I'm mispronunciating one of the names, especially the last names, jump in the chat. Let us know. Break it down for us. Make sure that I'm on cue here tonight, because last names, you just never know how people pronounce it, or, which word or which letter in there may be, silent or may have more emphasis on that word or anything else. And so we appreciate when you guys hop in and help us out, as we do see Aaron Spears in the 96 ride. So Spears out there in that Monster Energy number 96. He's looking to lay down a great lap time out there. Jonathan Cogswell out there as well. We do get a first look here at Cogswell out there on the speedway, as the 44 Farms, the 27 ride of Jonathan Cogswell out there on the speedway. We see Jack Simpson out there as well, the Premier Racing Setups number 24. He slides out there, as right now it is the 40 ride with the quick time here in qualifying, a 50-28 for the first solo lap up and onto the board, but it's not going to last long, as he's going to get knocked into the top spot. Drew King now quickest here in qualifying, and that one doesn't last much longer, as Tommy Polt, hopefully I'm saying that right, Polt jumps into position number 2, and it's Chris Zofeld who jumps into position number 1. And so Zofeld, hopefully I'm probably getting that completely wrong, getting it completely wrong, and I know it. I just know I am. I apologize, guys. I apologize if I get these last names wrong. It is Chris and Tommy, still 1 and 2, but now they will get knocked off of the front row as here comes a couple fast laps. The 28 run, the Helveline machine of Timothy Watson, gonna jump into position number 1. So Watson with the quick time out there on the racetrack, and then Max Cost will slide into position number 2. What a lap right there. Yo, what's good, Mr. Neil? What's good, Joshua? Joshua says, what's up, my guy? What's good, Mr. Joshua Neil? Coming in, showing the love over there on Facebook. How are you, brother? How you doing? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day. You know what's up, man. We're just getting ready to put on another absolutely amazing show and see some amazing racing again here this afternoon, as we do see Dalton Wicker. Wicker will jump up and into the top 10 here, as now we see the quick time out there on the racetrack. Adam Botton jumping into the top position, the Amazon 94 ride, as Evo will slide into position number 1. Timothy Watson back into second now. They're going to take their cars down pit side, so it looks like a lot of drivers taking the one and done out there on the speedway. We do still see Tyler Chronister out there on the speedway, the 99, the Walmart machine. He's still out there. We do see Justin Hendry out there as well, as Hendry looking to have a good day at the speedway. Kent Mueller, he's back out there in that DHL number 8 machine. We did see Derek Cat lay down a lap. Michael Carter, he's out there on the speedway. The 18 ride currently 27 fastest out there on the racetrack, as Zach Wilson, he's going to slide out here. We'll see where Wilson can kind of get locked in here, as right now it's Adam Boughton. I don't know if he's Boughton or Boughton. I'm going to say it's Boughton in the top spot here, and he's going to stay in the top spot. It's down across the line. It is the Tech Works number 51 of Zach Wilson, who will jump up into position number 2 right as time expires, just barely getting that lap time in, and it's going to be Adam Boughton and Zach Wilson who will lock themselves in as our front row here next week for the Daytona 500 here at the Hypershift Racing League. As man, oh man, that was a crazy turn of events right there. I'm sure Timothy Watson was just nipping at his nail fingers, hoping that Zach Wilson wouldn't get across the line before that qualifying session ended. If he would have been out there on the racetrack 2 seconds, 3 seconds slower, he wouldn't have gotten that lap time in, and Zach Wilson would have been starting at the back of the pack, and Timothy Watson would have been one of the drivers locking himself in on the front row of next Thursday's season opener for the points here. As, man, that's a crazy turn of events. But Adam Boughton, Evo, he's going to qualify in that top spot. Zach Wilson will qualify in position number 2. So that's going to make up our front row here for tonight's race, but it's also going to make up our front row for next Thursday's feature event as well. And now we'll figure out where everybody else will line up. So the highest finishing driver behind these two cats here, whether or not they stay out in front or they go to the back of the pack, but whoever finishes basically now at the front of the field other than these two will start in position number 3. The driver that finishes behind him will start there in 4th, and so on and so on. So it's going to really make things interesting here now that we know that these two are our top 2 drivers here this afternoon. They've qualified on the front row for this race. They've qualified on the front row for next Thursday's Daytona 500, and that means that everyone back there behind them, they're qualifying here and racing for a good starting spot next Thursday. As Jeremy Font says, well, hello, fam. We play racing. Yes, sirski, Jeremy. We are play racing, brother. Is Jeremy Vaughn, Cody Benschneider, both coming in with the likes over there on Facebook, coming in, showing the love there on the Facebook broadcast as we'll get ready to play here in this one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hit that thumbs up button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. Is starting on the poll here tonight. It's Adam Boughton. Boughton will start in the top spot. Who's outside the 51? It's Zach Wilson. The 28 at Timothy Watson. The 63 ride, that is Max Cost. Then we see the 54 of Justin Hendry there in 5th, and then to his outside is the 34 of Drew King. Dylan Picklesmeyer, Picklesmere, Simmer. Starting there in 7th. I'm gonna deal with that name, that's for certain. Robert Tester, good to see Robert out there. Tester will start there in 8th. Then we see Aaron Spear, Dalton Wicker, Chase Abel, Al Likens, Chris Sofeld, Christopher James, Kent Mueller, Tommy Polt, Tyler Cronister, Ryan Cronister, Brian Fine, Jonathan Cogswell, Derek Cat, Scott Shiv, Gage Wenzel, Gavin Grubbs, James Hewson, Josh Sinkline, Jaden Newson, Michael Carter, Jack Simpson, Anthony Ludi, and Daryl Johnson bringing up the rear of the field in that number 4 machine. As we end all the anticipation here this afternoon with our feature presentation, as we are quickly green flag racing in these NASCAR Cup cars. Start to build up that speed, going down the back straightaway, up through the gears, getting up to that top speed down the back straightaway now. We'll have to wait and see where everyone starts to find their dancing partners. Everyone going to be looking for teammates or people to work with out here on the racetrack, trying to race their way to the front of the field, and still door to door down through quarter number 3 and 4, back down to the front straightaway. The outside lane paying dividends, as that's the 63 ride of Max Goss. Goss will be lap number 1 here this season with the Hypershift Racing League. So the first lap lad will be that 63, is right there behind him, pushing him to the front of the field was that number 34 of Drew King, as King sits there in position number 2. Zach Wilson works out to the inside. The 94 ride right there, as well as the 54 Justin Hendry getting a good run here to hump on the inside lane. He's trying to push these guys to the front of the pack, looking to see if he can make some moves as the 34 jumps down to the inside lane, jumps in front of a 51 ride, and that's going to move Zach Wilson back into about the 6th position as the outside lane is moving right now. The 34 ride, after jumping in front of 51, it seems like all of a sudden they've kind of thrown the anchor out the back window here, and unfortunately they are slowing down more and more and more. Now they'll have the 9 ride jump in front of them. That is Al Likens. Likens jumps down low. Here comes the 45 of Dylan Picklesimmer there. He's going to jump down into that front row as well, but quickly see Max Cost. He's going to make that move, leaves the high lane, jumps down low, jumps in front of that 45, and now trying to lead the race here from out in front of 45, looking to try to make some moves here. He'll jump up in front of that 54 of Justin Hendry. Hendry, unfortunately, now has that 45 in front of him, but he's going to push him down through the tri-oval. This is where things can get a little hairy. Start moving around, start shuffling down, especially through that tri-oval. While you're giving somebody a bump trap, you can turn them in a quick hurry, as the 22 ride, the Joey Logano paint scheme out there, the Hunt Brothers, number 22. That is Robert Tester making his way to the front of the field here. Now, I did get word that a week, or I do believe last week, Tester ended up winning one of their practice races here in the series. He was pretty pumped about putting his line up in victory lane, and how he's looking to try to back that up with a big win this afternoon during our Buttkicker clash here this afternoon. It's some great racing action already. Drivers moving forward, drivers moving backwards, everybody shuffling around here as Ali New says go. Jaden Newson cheering on Newson as says killing it in his rookie season. Let's go. Hey, that's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear, and there's some stiff competition out there, so that's pretty awesome. The lap counter is not rolling. Let me get that double clicked here and refresh that bad boy. I got you, Jeremy. I got you, brother. Let me refresh this real quick and get that working for us. So there's 60 laps of racing action. 60 laps of racing action here this afternoon for this clash. So not a ton of laps, not a crazy amount, but there's still quite a bit, and that's going to at least see one pit stop, at least one pit stop. These drivers were going to have to come down pit lane, whether that's during the caution flag or if that's during a green flag pit stop. Depends on how many caution flags are when these drivers will decide to come down pit road, whether it'll be, towards that midway marker or maybe just trying to make it to a point here early on, seeing if they can use that track position to their favor here. But sometimes track position at the front of the field isn't the best place to be. Sometimes it's the safest place, but sometimes being at the back of the pack here is a good spot out there on the speedway. It says how many laps in this, and do they have to pit? Yeah, they will have to pit, brother. They will have to pit. As I do believe it is 100% fuel, but I'm not 100% positive. Let me double check here. I believe doesn't info tell you? Race. I thought it told you in here how much fuel. 75% fuel. Alright, there we go. I knew it was in there somewhere. 75% fuel. So that means we will probably see these guys head down pit road around lap 30-ish or so. I'm assuming it'll still be a one pit stop race, but that could change in a quick hurry. I know the real-life NASCAR guys, they tend to make it around 40 laps, 43 laps. So I'm assuming we're going to see these guys go just past lap number 30 and then start to head down pit side and pit stops. That being whether or not we see a early caution flag or maybe a caution flag somewhere around there. I think it might make it a little bit more crazier. As Jeff McJeffrey coming in, showing the love. Says, fires and like the fires, boys. Let's go. Jeff coming in, dropping that bump left as well. As Jeremy says, I think if it's 100%, they might not have to. But 75, yeah, they I'm pretty sure the real Cup guys, I think they go like, I want to say it's 43, 45 laps, somewhere in that area. They've got a full tank of fuel here. So I'm assuming iRacing's pretty close to that. So I'd assume that they're going to have to go down pit road either way. It may end up being a 2 pit stop. All depends on how much fuel you're really using out there. If you're leading that first, 25 laps of this race and you're on that full throttle the entire time, you're going to burn up that equipment. You're going to burn up that fuel rather quickly than someone that's, a little deeper in the field. Doesn't have to go as fast, doesn't have to be on the full throttle the whole time. You look back here and you look at Jaden Newson or Ryan Fine, some of these guys that are mid-pack right now, they're kind of cruising out there on the speedway. They don't have to full throttle. They don't have to have, everything working for them. As you start to see some of these Premier Racing setups rides starting to get rolling here on the outside groove. That's an interesting sight to see. So teammates trying to get lined up here. They got one driver kind of in between them, and that's Chase Abel. As Abel, he is right now just in front of that 40 ride with the 36. Right there in front of him. That is Gage Wenzel. Wenzel in position number 10 on the racetrack, and a couple cars behind him. You see that 40 ride of Jaden Newson. Newson there in 14th, and right on back bumper, his teammate in the 24 ride, I do believe. The 24 there behind him. That is Jack Simpson. So teamwork makes the dream work here at Daytona International Speedway. We'll have to wait until those drivers can work their way up towards the front of the field. It's also good to see the 39 ride out there. It's the Royalty Motorsports number 39 machine of Derek Kent. Good to see Mr. Kent out there on the speedway as he rolls out there right now. Currently scored in that 18th position. Right there behind him is Timothy Watson. Watson, who started in position number 3 here this afternoon, was just shy of qualifying on the front row and locking himself in to our A-main feature event. Is look out! Right here in front of him, down through the tri-oval. The 57 turned around. There goes the 77 as well. Another driver collected there in that one is unfortunately the 19, Ryan Chronister. Nowhere for him to go. The 57 of Brian Fine also turned around. Same with Dalton Wicker. As Wicker also getting tied up in that one. Let's play this back as that will be our first caution flag of the day. So our first yellow flag out there on the speedway is everybody trying to find a way around this 57. As we'll take a look here and see what happens. Contact in front of him, and it's actually the 81 ride. Up on the outside groove. Actually, he's on the inside right here as well. Let's take a look back at this one. I do believe that is the 81. I don't see him on here. Where is the 81? Who is the 81? That's the next big question here. as we're trying to figure out all these names, all the drivers, all their paint schemes, everything else. It'll get better and better week after week here, ladies and gentlemen. We promise you that. Is a couple of drivers that were back a little farther here. I'm not too sure who this car is. Scott Shiv right there. All right, so the 81 of Shiv, unfortunately, going to get tied up here as another angle at this one and break this first caution flag down. So the 81 rolling on the inside lane, the podium machine down low, and you see there's a car trying to work to the middle right here, a little farther back, that 36 right. Trying to get a run underneath the 27. Unfortunately, he's going to blink a little bit here, disappear, but at the same point in time, the door kind of closes right there. They get tight together. I think the 36 is technically still there. There he is. He pops back in, but the contact between the 81 and the 27 sends this 81 down the racetrack. He tags that right rear quarter panel of the 57 right. And from that point on, Brian Fine is just trying to hang on and hope for the best as everyone trying to get around him is Wetzel right there. It's a little kind of piece of him right there. And you see more contact down low there. 4, 5, 6 wide, but a big hit for the Prime Gaming number 18 machine as he slams into the rear end of that 15 ride. The 19 also in there as well, hard into the side of the 77, and some early wrecks here, an early caution flag, and some pretty heavy hands. See if we can bring this one back a little bit farther and take another look at it as things get a little crazy here for a few of these drivers. Unfortunately, what looked to be an open door became a closed door in a quick hurry as the 36 of Wenzel trying to work down through the middle and just does not work out, and a lot of drivers end up with some pretty significant damage, some heavy contact there, especially for the 18 and that 57 ride, as our first caution flag of the day will fly here at Daytona International Speedway. Drivers down pit road looking to get some repairs and looking to try to get their cars fixed up and back out there, as you did see Daryl Johnson, Gage Wenzel sliding back out onto the speedway. We see the number 99 ride, Tyler Chronister, hopefully I'm saying that right. Chronister down pit side. Ryan Chronister right there behind him in the 19 ride. We see Brian Fine down pit road. Same with Scott Shiv is the 81, the podium machine, getting some work done to his ride. The 18 ride of Michael Carter, nowhere to go for the Prime Gaming 18 machine as he slammed right into the back end of Brian Fine. A lot of damage there to the front end of that 18 machine, and a lot of damage to the rear end of the 57, and pretty heavy front end damage as well after getting spun around, taking the outside fence. That car is still feeling the pain, still pretty good damage there on it, as drivers are going to try to work themselves back out onto the speedway, see if they can make some moves and hope to gain a couple spots here, maybe try to work themselves a little closer to the front field, or just trying to make sure that their cars are A-okay, as we do see some more drivers head down pit lane. So Kent Mueller down pit road. The 40 run of Jaden Newson also down pit side. The 24 of Jack Simpson, he comes down pit road as well. Daryl Johnson back down pit road. So the Mobile 1 Bush Latte number 4 ride going to get some more service done to his car as well. And I do believe Michael Carter still with that front end damage is down pit side for an extended period of time, and he's going to go at least one, maybe multiple laps down here as the 81 gets rolling back out there on the racetrack. Tyler Chronister also not out here as well, so I'm not sure what may have happened to Chronister, but Tyler also now off the racetrack, so a tough break for the 99 as it looks like he may have ended up back behind pit wall. As Jeremy Bond says, looks like a good full car count. Nice to see for the league most. I used to see struggled for full car counts. Oh, Jeremy used to be a part of the Hypershift series. I didn't know that, brother. That's awesome. Hey, well, I'm sure as long as things didn't end on a bad terms, brother, get back in here, jump back in on the fun. There's some very talented drivers in the mix, and I feel like there's even more drivers that are lurking in the backgrounds that didn't show up today that know that, other than just starting position, there's not a lot on the line here this afternoon. So there's probably, I'm going to see at least a couple drivers that may have missed out on tonight's clash, and they'll start at the rear of the field. So any of those drivers that didn't show up tonight, they will start at the back of the pack for next Thursday's first points race of the season. So no harm, no foul if they didn't make it out there onto the speedway. But for all these other drivers, there's a little bit on the line as we do see Anthony Ludi trying to work his way closer and closer to the front of the field. The Adidas number 95 ride trying to get himself up there, as Jeremy Vaughn says no other asphalt leagues, and I don't miss iRacing too much just yet. Yeah, unfortunately, you know, there's a lot of asphalt leagues. There's definitely a lot of asphalt leagues. And no, another or other asphalt leagues, and yeah, you're talking about SSR right there. Yeah, I understand that one. Yeah, fully. Yeah, SSR definitely struggled there towards the end. That's for certain. As you don't miss it. You don't miss it that much, Jeremy. Come on now, brother. I feel like you miss it. Okay, I see you in the chat. You're watching. You're commenting. I know you're getting the itch for it. Get in here, brother. Get in here. The season's just about to get started. Get in on the fun. As we are back to Green Flag Racing. The 54 of Justin Henry out in front. Henry leads the way as Henry there at the front of the field. Zach Wilson back there in second. So our driver who qualified in position at number 2 this afternoon sits back there in position number 2, but now it's going to fall back to that third spot as here comes that 45 ride. Dylan Pickles Simmer has been looking very, very strong all day today. That 9 ride right there with him. Al Likens right there as well. He's been looking very, very good here. They've been up racing, getting towards the front of the field, and they've made some pretty good moves, and here they are battling to the outside for that race lead once again. Drew King right there, the 34 ride. He's been right around it here. He's been right there as well throughout the evening. Seen with Chris Sofeld. They're in position number 4 now as well. As here comes Joshua Siegfried. Siegfried started deep in the field, but contact right there in front of him. Look out, down onto the apron. It was 2 of the drivers we were just talking about. Al Likens in the 45 ride of Dylan Picklesimmer. They make contact here, and unfortunately, both of them lose the draft. They both slide backwards. No caution flag on the racetrack either, as neither driver went around on the racing surface. But this was a close call for a lot of drivers here. Down into corner number 1 as they're pushing nose to tail here. All of a sudden, that push ends up just shoving the 45 up into the outside fence. He bounces off the wall, comes back down the racetrack into the 9 ride, and that takes them both deep down onto the apron. They're going to hit a couple of the road course berms right there, and unfortunately, hopefully not too much damage for either driver, but that was a pretty good lick into the outside fence for the 45. A little pretty good damage down into the 9 ride, but you see the field able to keep their foot in the throttle, keep on rolling. Unfortunately for the 45 and the 9 ride, they're going to lose the draft and fall farther back here in this one, as they're now back in the 28th and 29th position on the speedway, and they sit about 2 seconds behind Robert Tester, as Tester looked like he moved down onto the apron and got onto the binders, trying to keep that Hunt Brothers Pizza number 22 out of trouble there. He saw what was happening at the front of the field, jumped down low. Unfortunately, as he did, he ended up losing that draft as well, and now sitting back deeper behind our lead pack there. 8 seconds now between this 22 and that lead pack here, as there you see them right there, the 8 machine of Kent Mueller, the 81 of Scott Shiv right there, and then we see, you know, Jonathan Cogswell as well here at the back of this 26 car, I would say, front of the field, but you can see even a little bit more broken up there through the middle of that as well. So things really got busted up with that move down out of the tri-oval down into towards quarter number 1 between the 45 and that 49, and definitely made a lot of drivers, you know, start to try to move out and around and hoping to stay out of carnage right there, as everyone was pretty tight together. That really broke things up in a quick hurry, as now you do see Anthony Ludi. He's trying to work his way up through the field here. We did see that number 94 of Adam Bautar, pole sitter here for tonight and for next Thursday's Daytona 500. Both of these that 94 ride will start at the front of the field in both of those races after qualifying on the pole here today. So he's sitting pretty. He's feeling good out there on the racetrack as he rolls right now in that 13th position. He's got nothing to prove. He knows he'll start at the front of the field next Thursday. And trying to jump out there, have a little bit of fun, see if he can get a little extra practice in here, try to find some friends maybe throughout this race to maybe help him out when it comes to our first points race of the season next week. So he's just rolling out there, maybe gonna try to pick up a checkered flag and just really make things, you know, that much more of a statement here to start the season and build that momentum and that energy up for the 94 ride here on the year. Is out in front right now is the Just 54 ride. Justin Hendry is Hendry out in front, leading the way here. The 51 is Zach Wilson right there with him on his back bumper is our second place starter here, who is locked into our Daytona 500 next Thursday. He'll start in position number 2. That is already settled as he started second here today as well. So he's rolling in position number 2 right now. He's looked very strong up there towards the front of the field throughout this afternoon, and racing right now in behind our race leader is Chris Zofeld right there as well, as Zofeld in the 11 ride, the 77 of Dalton Wicker, who was just tied up in that last caution flag. He ended up with some pretty good damage there as he got T-boned into the numbers by the 18 machine, and all of a sudden the 77 rides back up here to the front of the field, racing just inside our top 5 and looking for some more positions there in position number 4. As we do see the 95 ride, that's Anthony Ludi in that Adidas 95 machine, rolls there in that 5th position with Gage Wenzel back in 6th, and then we see that 34 of Drew King, Joshua Siegfried there in 8th. Christopher James and Chase Abel rounding out our top 10 here on the speedways. Adam Belton back there in position number 11. Aaron Spears, Gavin Grubbs, Derek Catt there in 14th. Max Koss back in the 15th position with Timothy Watson back there in 16th. Brian Fine, Tommy Polt, hopefully I'm saying that right. Polt, Jack Simpson, James Hudson. I don't know why I keep saying Hugh. It's not Hugh, it's a Hudson. James Hudson there in the 2 ride, rolling just outside our top 20. Now it's the 40 ride of Jaden Newson. Gets around him as Hudson there in 21st. Ryan Cronister back in 22nd with Daryl Johnson, Scott Schimpf, Jonathan Cogswell, Kent Mueller, Dylan Picklesimmer, Al Likens, and Robert Tester there in 29th. That's Tyler Cronister, unfortunately, off the racetrack, and Michael Carter in the 18 ride, still down pit side. Unfortunately, a lot of laps down now for that 18 machine, as that may be all she wrote for his afternoon, as we're down to 29 drivers left out there on the racetrack, as they are going to need more than 3 cars to catch up. Yeah, they're definitely going to need more than 3 cars back there at the rear of the field. That it may save them, may keep them on the lead lap, and just hoping to see that caution flag here any moment in time for those 3 drivers that got tied up earlier and having that problem down the front straightaway, as the 45 ride of Pickle Simmer back there they're about 20 seconds behind that lead pack. So they are quite a ways away from being at the front of the field here, and they're going to need a caution flag in a quick hurry to get back into the action here this evening, as they do not want to go a lap down. They do not want to be put into that position, and they do not want to see these green flag pit stops really start and get underway, as that could also really affect them. And if they get broken up and be in a 3-car pack, they can lose a lot of time in a quick hurry out there on the racetrack. Yo, Aaron Benschneider, Mr. Benschneider coming in, dropping that like on the stream. What's good? Ron, Aaron coming in. Good that like on the broadcast. How are you, brother? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful afternoon and some great racing action here in this one. Drivers battling hard here on the speedway. We did see a lot of drivers come down pit road during that first caution flag, so that may really mix things up here with the field strategy. We may see, half this field that didn't come down pit road down pit lane just past the halfway marker, where other drivers, they may stick out, a handful more laps here. We'll have to wait and see kind of what the deal is, where drivers decide to go, and how many teams are going to be working together before they head down pit side and make these potential green flag pit stops. Or if we see a caution flag that may fly, it may close out the green flag pit stops here before we know it. But nonetheless, these drivers put on a heck of a show, a heck of a race for us here, as they continue to battle door to door 74. We did see quite a bit of single file there for a little while, and now it's kind of busted back open. Drivers trying to get that second lane rolling back here towards the front of the field, and you see that 77, he's leading the outside lane, so we jump from fourth there on the inside road, and now leading the outside lane, but unfortunately they are slightly a little farther backwards. The 77 goes from fourth now back into that sixth position, but down the back straight away they're trying to get that momentum built up, trying to pull door to door. That 34 of Drew King for position number 5 on the racetrack. Is that 36 all over the back bumper here of Dalton Wicker trying to keep that car, put it in the right direction as Gage Wenzel try to help him get to the front of the field. The target, number 7, right of Chase Abel right there, as well as we do see Adam Boughton there. He's trying to get that outside lane growing as well, and Anthony Ludi was thinking about jumping up there as that outside groove starting to lose their teammates here. Now you start to see a little 3 wide back there as the 96 right jumps to the outside of that 40 machine. And unfortunately for Jaden Newson, he's going to get freight trained here down the back straightaway. See, all these drivers are just going to split right around on the inside lane. The outside lane are going to just kind of put him right into the tunnel right there, and no drafting out to his back bumper, and he slides all the way back to the rear of this pack. And unfortunately for the number 40 ride, the spot he wants to be, there is definitely some hard racing here, but now he's got 25 other drivers in front of him, but this could be a safe place to be at the back of the pack as things may start to heat up, get a little bit more treacherous, a little bit more, beating and banging towards the front of the field. We could see that big one quick hurry. We could see something happen here where that 40 ride may end up being in the best position, being at the back of this pack. May not be a bad idea just to kind of be able to have enough time to roll out of the throttle, get checked up, or see what's in front of you and make moves to get out and around of what could be the big one here. It's always lurking in the back of the minds of all these drivers. They know that that big crash, the big one here at Daytona International Speedway, any super speedway race, always seems to have that big one. It can take out a lot of competitors in a quick hurry, and you don't want to be one of those drivers that's just kind of in the middle of it and nowhere to go and just have your night taken away from you in a heartbeat with your own fault out there on the racetrack. Is starting to see that outside lane try to build back up once again as they go door to door down the back straightaway. We're about to hit halfway in and halfway to go here in this one as Chronic Ponds Sim Racing says, my car was in the wreck. Looked fine. Told me I was done for the day. Yeah, I'm assuming... Yeah, your car didn't look too bad, Tyler. I was going to say, I thought it was either Tyler or Ryan, but Ryan's still out there. Ryan's back here. He's in that 19 Ryan. If anything, I thought Ryan ended up with more damage there than you did, because he got pretty hard into the side of the 77 ride. I thought maybe, if anything, that he would have the worst end, but your car didn't really seem to get too much damage, but that 99 ride's been down pit side since that first caution flag by Michael Carter, as Carter still down on pit road. Now, Carter, his day was definitely done. A big hit to the front end and a lot of damage there to the front end of that 18 ride, but other than him and the 19 were like the only two cars that I really thought we're going to have, or potentially the 57 of Brian Fine himself, one of the first cars to kind of go around. I thought they would be the drivers that would have been out of this race, but no, man, that's a tough break. This is a tough break, but luckily enough, no points on the line here. No points on the line, so your season hasn't gotten off to a super rough start, and starting at the back of the pack here at the International Speedway. That's not necessarily a bad place to be. Start at the back of the pack here, sometimes especially early on at the start of a new season. You never really know what next Thursday may bring to the table, and being deeper in the field may be the best starting position. It may end up being the worst, but it may end up being the best. It's out in front. It's Justin Hendry. Is Hendry leading the way. The A-Just 54 ride out in front as the Tech Works number 51, Zach Wilson, rolls there in position number 2. Here we go. We're going to start to see some drivers head down pit road. That's Anthony Ludi in the Adidas 95 ride. He's going to head down pit side with them here. So we see Zach Wilson, Justin Hendry, and Anthony Ludi come down pit road. The first 3 drivers to make it down pit lane here. And unfortunately for the 95, he makes a mistake. He misses misses his pit stall. Oh, no, he has to throw it in reverse. He's got to back it up. 8, 6, I don't even know how many pit stalls he overshot it, but unfortunately, he does overshoot that pit lane, and all of a sudden, the 51 ride the 54 as they come back out onto the racetrack. They're going to be able to work together here, but they're only going to be a 2-car pack, and you see this other 3-car pack and how much it's not working for them. Only having 3 drivers in here. They continue to stay deep in this field right now as the 50 or the 9 ride, the 45 ride, and that 22 unfortunately getting tied up in that second incident down out of the tri-oval. They are now about 32 seconds, 33 seconds behind our race leaders. As that's a tough one. That's a tough one out there. What's good? What's good, Reese? What's good, brother? How are you? Reese coming in, showing the love. Yeah, the 99. I found you. I knew it was one of his. But hey, what's good, brother? Kev says, hey, brother, Reese, Kelva. I know it's you. I know it's you, Texas Kelva. Listen, not many Kelvas jump into the chat, brother, so I knew it was you. But how are you? How you doing tonight? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Thursday afternoon, as we're having a great Thursday afternoon watching the Hypershift Racing League here in action for the first time this season. As we see a little bit of 3 wide here as out there on the racetrack. These guys are not backing down. They're making moves. They're trying to fight their way to the front of the field. Everyone trying to race their way up into the battle here at the front of the 34 of Drew King. Now our race lead, Gage Wenzel. Back in position number 2 is Wenzel, who also was kind of right in the middle of getting that first caution flag started. The 36 ride taking a little bit of damage, but here he is racing his way up to the front of the field. Now sits there in position number 2. Still has to make a pit stop, even though he was down pit lane during that first caution flag. So he may have a little bit more fuel than some of the drivers around him, and that may force their hands to come down as a 2-car, 3-car, 4-car pack out there, and allow some of these other drivers that stayed out King down pit road during that first caution flag, but use it to their advantage as the 34 Drew King leads the way. Gage Wenzel there in second. 88 of Christopher James rolls there in third, as the 77 of Dalton Wicker rolls there in fourth. Chris Zofeld rolls there in that 5th spot with Adam Belton, Aaron Spear, and Timothy Watson, Jaden Newson, and Chase Abell trying to race their way up to the front of the pack right now. That is our top 10 out there on the speedway. The 12 rider Gavin Grubbs, he rolls back in the 11 for the Kent Mueller. Joshua Sinkfried, Jack Simpson, Tommy Polt, Derek Cat, Max Cost, James Hudson, Daryl Johnson, Scott Shiv, Jonathan Cogswell in the number 84 ride. Bringing up the rear of this lead pack right now is Ryan Chronister. Rolls back there at 22nd. He's got the 57 of Brian Fine right there with him. A pair of drivers that got tied up in that first caution flag. They roll back in 22nd and 23rd. Unfortunately, they have lost the lead draft here, that lead pack, and they roll kind of by themselves. Then we see Dylan Pickle Simmer. He's back here as this 3-car pack with Al Likens and Robert Tester. We're back in 24th, 25th, and 26th as Justin Hendry, Zach Wilson right there together. Anthony Ludi, I do believe Ludi is stuck in his. He's still rolling out there, so Ludi's still rolling out there on the speedway as well, but he's kind of just all by himself right now, and I do believe he is the first driver now 1 lap down on the racetrack. So a tough break there for him, as we do see Max Cost also coming down pit road here. So Cost kind of down pit lane by himself right now. That's definitely not a spot you ever want to be. It's the Reese's 063 machine getting ready to roll back out there onto the racetrack here in this one. Yeah, that's a tough break right there. When you head down pit road and no one comes with you, that's tough to do here in this race. As Go Newson, go, says Daniel Weaver Rutan. Coming in to show the big love there on that one. Cheering on Newson out there on the speedways. TM says, well, didn't expect a car to come if to line and be dead, stopped in the middle of the track, laugh out loud, onto the main event from the back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, sometimes that's what you gotta do, man. Sometimes that's what you gotta do. Sometimes you're just kind of wrong place, wrong time, and that's super speedway racing, man. That's super speedway racing right there in a nutshell. Sometimes you can be having a good day, just trying to take care of your equipment, and then all of a sudden, parked right in front of you is another car, and nothing you can do, nowhere for you to go. Even if you try to spin yourself out or head down low or up to the high side, you know, you have cars all around you, and there's really just nothing you can do except for hang on that steering wheel and ride it into the side of them and hope that the damage isn't too bad. As TM says, this package is extremely difficult to form any runs. Gotta start over learning this package on super speedways. Yeah, see, now I heard some of that in rumors throughout the last couple of days, is that the Tuesday update here on iRacing really messed with the super speedway NASCAR Next Gen kind of packages here, and really made it so that you know, the bump drafting and stuff is a whole lot different, and everyone's kind of trying to figure that out here, not only tonight but throughout the practice session and everything else. They've been trying to figure out what they need and how they can use that package to help them race towards the front of the field here this afternoon. One of those guys that's obviously figured it out is, once again, our race leader out there on the racetrack, the 94 line. That is Adam Belton out in front, the Amazon Prime 94 line at the front of the field is Aaron Spear. Right there behind him is Spear built there in position number 2. Drew King, Jack Simpson, and Gage Wenzel. Our top 5 is to see Wenzel in that 24 ride of Jack Simpson. Teammates getting lined up here on that inside lane. Now they're just trying to hope that they can get the number 40 of Jaden Newson right there as well, as he comes up to the outside lane trying to navigate his way around the 88 machine, as I think drivers are going to start to head down pit road here. Here you go, a bunch of cats down pit side. Oh, baby, look out. That's the 7 ride. Gonna miss pit lane right there. Oh, that is a heartbreaker for the Target 7 machine of Chase Abel. Isabel, unfortunately, going to have to come down pit road. Now, that was a unsafe pit entry. I do believe he may get held down pit lane here, as you do see the 95 right of Anthony Ludi back down pit road here himself. Now, Ludi, unfortunately, was a lap down, and it looks like the Adidas car may stay down pit side for an extended period of time. As here we go, James Hudson rolling back out there on the speedway. Here comes that 4 of Daryl Johnson, Gavin Grums. All these drivers just making a quick pit stop and getting rolling once again. The 28 of Timothy Watson, Christopher James. Looks like these guys took time, just fuel only, but a couple other drivers were down pit side for a little bit longer. You see Scott Shiv, Brian Fine, they're rolling back out right now, as a couple of drivers in front of them took a little extra time on pit lane. You see that 34 ride is right there with them. Drew King, not the best pit stop there, and they're going to come out as a 4-car pack. They're going to hope to try to pick up this other 2 cars that are right there in front of them, but they're carrying a ton of momentum down the back straightaway, and for Justin Hendry and Zach Wilson, they got to hope that that 4-car pack can catch up to them and start to build another little bit of a pack here deeper in the field, as we do see more drivers head down pit lane. They've made their pit stops. They're rolling back out there onto the racetrack, one of those being that 96 of Aaron Spear. Here comes Tommy Plight back out there onto the racetrack. Timothy Watson going to go right on by them, as Jaden Newson also down pit side. So green flag pit stops quickly coming to a close. Here we go, more drivers down pit road. Here comes Kent Mueller. Mueller kind of by himself here down pit lane for the 8 ride. It's a tough break for the DHL Services number 8 machine, as we do see Adam Bounton. He's back up to speed here down the back straightaway. He's trying to get rocking and rolling away from the rest of the field, looking to try to put this 22 right. Unfortunately, a lap down out there on the speedway, and this is going to be a tough break right here for Robert Tester. Tester going to have to move down and out of the way, and he will go a lap down. Currently, the first driver a lap down out here on the speedway, as we're going to see the caution flag come out. So the caution flag will be displayed just as green flag pit stops come to an end, and sitting in that free pass position, maybe getting past was a good thing here, as Robert Tester will now be in that lucky dunk position. As we'll play this one back, it looks like Tommy Polt unfortunately running into some issues here. See if we can find Tommy out there on the racetrack. There's the 26. Looks like Jaden Newson and the number 26, we're going to run into some problems here. Just pushing down into corner number 3. The 40 ride jumps down low, trying to get the draft there behind the 54, the 51, the 26. Doesn't realize that. He tries to jump down a little too late. Unfortunately, comes down over the nose of the Premier Racing Setups number 40 ride. They make contact, and the 26 gets sent up the racetrack hard into the outside fence right there. Heavy damage there from the front end. Absolutely tore to shreds. Now have to wait and see if anyone else gets tied up in it as he washes down the racetrack onto the apron, down and out of the way. And I do believe that everyone else able to stay out of that one is that 26 run with a ton of damage. Everyone getting checked up, everyone avoiding him, and that's going to bring out a big caution flag for all these drivers leading in this race. We'll get them stacked up. We'll get them racked up. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a little bit, as that caution flag came out at a perfect time as Kent Mueller timing the pit stop perfectly here, was able to make his pit stop, roll back out onto the racetrack. He was scored as our race leader at the time of the yellow flag, so the DHL number 8 machine of Kent Mueller getting a good break right there, and he will be our race leader when we go back to green flag racing. Adam Belton, Gage Wenzel, Jack Simpson, and Christopher James will round out our top 5. When we go back to green flag racing, you're finding someone comes down pit road here for our second restart of the day, as Daniel Weaver Rutan coming in showing the love with that subscribe over on YouTube. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. Become a new member of the PeaceMaker family today, as we get ready to see what these drivers can do late in this race with only a couple handfuls of laps left in this one. As Chronic Hans says, I won't be on for week 1 because I will be in Daytona at the races. Oh no, that's a tough break right there. That is a tough break for you there on that one, Chronic. Yeah, that's tough. That is very, very tough. But hey, have fun down in Daytona, brother. I mean, we'll be here in the simulator, but you'll be there in real life, and I think one of those is a lot better than the other one. That is for certain. As 213 Simware coming in says, driver 95 ran out of talent. Whoops, that would be me. It's okay being under the weather, and we'll be back next week. Great broadcast, brother. I appreciate that. 213 Simware coming in showing the love here this afternoon. And we're going to get a quick break in right now. We're going to get a quick commercial break in for the Hypershift Racing League, as we'll be right back here in just a few more moments. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, don't go anywhere, as you don't want to miss the racing action here this afternoon. We're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing here with 14 laps left to go. What we're going to do here for this restart is we're going to jump into a quick PeaceMaker Gaming crank it up here. So for a few short laps, what we're going to do is we're going to crank up that volume, and we're going to give you guys the sights and sounds NASCAR Cup Series here at Daytona International Speedway. We're going to jump on board here with one of the drivers throughout the middle of the pack, give you guys the sights and sounds going up and through the gears here. So we'll jump on board here with James Hudson. Is Hudson back there in that number 2 machine, that Monster Energy ride? As we love Monster Energy here on PeaceMaker Gaming, always keeping us hydrated and keeping us nice and calm and beautiful up here in the broadcast booth. And I'm making sure we stay hydrated up here, man, and we can't thank Monster Energy enough as we'll get ready to see these drivers go back to battle, and we'll get ready to crank it up here this afternoon. From Daytona International Speedway, ladies and gentlemen, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers as we crank it up here on PeaceMaker Gaming. Contact down the back straightaway, a bunch of drivers down and off the speedway. No caution flag as of yet during this crank it up. Let's see if we can get another look back there as we saw Aaron Spear, Jaden Newson, and a few other drivers here go down the back straightaway onto the apron, spinning around, but no yellow flag on the racetrack here. That is a tough break for a bunch of these very good drivers. Let's take a look here, see if we can get another angle at this one as contact made down the back straightaway. Everyone just trying to make their way through. Unfortunately, there's that contact. The 11 and the 12 ride, they get together. You see the 4, the 12 slideways there on the racetrack. The 96, nowhere to go, pounces into the side of the 12 machine. They make more contact. Jaden Newson right there as well, nowhere for him to go as they get tied together, washed down onto the apron and off the racing surface as they spin down off the racing surface here. A couple of going right through the little bit of a chicane back there on the back straightaway. That is for the road course here at Daytona International Speedway, but unfortunately for those drivers, no caution flag, no yellow flag on the speedway, and as our crank it up will continue here on for all these drivers. A beautiful rank it up session here this afternoon, and our first race of the season with the Hypershift Racing League as we cranked it up here this afternoon, giving you guys the sight and sound around the beautiful Daytona International Speedway. We got a lot of racing left here in this one as Jack Simpson out in front. Jack A. Simpson also coming in on the broadcast says Team 2430, the 2430 looking organized. Says go boys, as Jack Simpson out in front leading this race. Now I don't know if that's just a coincidence or if that's maybe Jack's young lad maybe driving the car or watching out there, Jack Jr. maybe, or Jack Sr. in the chat, or maybe it's the same Jack Simpson coming in during that caution flag to say Team 2430 is looking organized here, as we do see that 24 at the front of the field, but right down to his inside is the 88 ride. Christopher James looking to try to take this race win away from him. There on his back bumper of the 24 ride is that Helveline 28, the driver who started in position number 3 here this afternoon. That is Timothy Watson. Watson right there ready to strike with that inside lane, pulling out in front as Chris Zofeld there in position number 2. The 11 ride rolls there in that second spot on the speedway. The 54 right there on their back bumper. It's Justin Hendry. Is Hendry right there as well, ready to make some moves. The A Just Right has been up inside the top 5 here for a lot of this race, and hoping to see if he can put himself up and into victory lane as the 27 right there as well. We'll see Gage Wenzel there in that 36 machine. Dalton Wicker in the 77. He's right there in that mix, as well as I do believe the 27 ride is one of the drivers not a lap down. Where's the 27? It doesn't even show me the 27. I don't think it is Jonathan Cogswell, maybe? Jonathan? I do believe that it is Jonathan Cogswell in the 27 ride. I do believe that is him. As Cogswell there, he's trying to race up there. You see Joshua Siegfried, he's up there as well. Here comes Al Likens. Likens in the Napa Auto Parts number 9 machine. He was at the front of the field, in the middle portion of this race. We saw that contact down through the, just out of the tri-oval that sent him and the 45 ride down onto the apron. They were close to going a lap down themselves. Luckily enough, they were able to stay out in front, as at the front of the field, teammates now getting lined up here. So the 24 rider, Jack Simpson, who was looking a little bent out of shape right there. Simpson continued to lead the way with his teammate in that 36 right on his back bumper. The pair of Premier Racing Setups rides here in the front of the field, looking to try to chase down this checkered flag as he continued to block that inside lane. The 28 rider, Timothy Watson, trying to race his way out in front of these two drivers, but they are staying hooked together up through the high side of quarter number 1 and 2, and now they're going to split each other up. One's going to head down low, the other one stays up on the outside lane. They're looking to try to control these two racing lines out here on the speedway, but that could break them up in a quick hurry. If the 77 can clear that 36, he may jump down low and split them up, and that's exactly what happens as the 77 of Dalton Winker is all over the back bumper here of this 24 line. They are starting to break away from the rest of the field. My gosh, they are opening up a huge gap as things are getting a little crazy back in the lineup. Look out, that 28 rider, Timothy Watson, almost going around there through that tri-oval. Luckily enough, he's able to keep that car pointed in the right direction and keep on rocking and rolling now. Our race leaders, they gotta get broken up here at some point as the 77 ride gonna start to overheat here. On that back bumper, and I don't think he can go for another 3 laps here, staying right there glued to the back end of that 24. He's gonna have to try to move around, and there you go. He does jump up to the outside lane. Now a big piece of contact there to the back end is the 24, and get some more shove and help. Here comes his teammate as the 94. Look out, our pole sitter looking to try to make that 3rd lane work here on the speedway. Up on the high side, it's Adam Belton. Trying to get lined up here. That is a lap down driver now. The number, I believe that's the 96 ride of Aaron Spear. Now going to go a lap down there in the 96. You do see right there as well. Actually, it's not the 95, it's the 85 right there. A bunch of blue cars back here deeper in the field, all looking somewhat the same out there on the racetrack. The 51 ride, one of those. He was our outside pole sitter here at the front of the pack. Zach Wilson, he's back here. And Belton both already locked into the front row here on the our first race of the season next Thursday. But the 94 and the 51, they want to get this race, off on a good foot here. They want to be able to race their way to the front of the field and show these drivers that they are going to be the cars to beat next week, and maybe try to find a little bit of help and friends out there on the racetrack as we do see that white flag fly. So one more time around here in our Hypershift Cup Series Buttkicker Clash from Daytona International Speedway. One last time down the back straightaway here at Daytona International Speedway, and it's a pair of premier racing setups. Teammates here at the front of the field. The 36 of Gage Wenzel on the outside lane is down low. Some lap traffic playing a hand at this one. Here comes the 24 wide Jack Simpson right to his teammate's back bumper. They're going to try to work together down the front straightaway into the triangle. A big move. The 28, he gets blocked down below the double yellow line. Contact back there behind him, but down across the line. It's Gage Wenzel. Wenzel picks up the checker flag as they wreck down here just on the exit of our front straightaway down into corner number 1. Gage Wenzel able to hold him off. A great push and a great block there by his teammate Jack Simpson. Simpson ends up with some damage there after the checker flag, but pulls it into position number 4 as Dalton Wicker almost trying to take that checker flag away from him there. Unfortunately, a couple big blocks out of the 24 and out of the 36 were able to hold him off and keep him back there at bay as Gage Wenzel gets the dub. Dalton Wicker there in second, and it's Justin Hendry who comes home in position number 3. So the 54 went with a great run there, as well as start to really mix things up here, as that's going to be our 3rd, 4th, and 5th place driver the start of next week's race. We're going to jump up here into the comment section as Cody Tarrant says, let's go Zofeld. Zofeld out there on the racetrack. He was looking good, and Chris ended up coming home there in the 11th position as craziness coming down out of corner number 4. Everyone trying to block, everyone trying to find their way to the front of the field. Lanes opening, lanes closing, and holding on to the race win is that 36 ride as he'll burn down the house here at Daytona International Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here to our race winner in the Premier Racing Setups, number 36. It's Gage Wenzel. Wenzel getting the job done here in this one. Let's get a huge round of applause for him. Let's get some congratulations up in the comments section for that 36 ride. And if you haven't already, make sure you help us out. Hit that like button on the stream, hit that share, hit that follow, and hit that subscribe button if you're watching over on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, as we'll get ready to pull our top 3 up and into the broadcast booth for their post-race interviews. Our pole sitter waiting down pit side. Let's pull him up here and in to the broadcast booth. Hey, Gage, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Gage, man, what a run, what a race. Take us back through this one as we saw you there, middle of this race. You're trying to work yourself to the middle around a couple of drivers. Unfortunately, you blinked a little bit, and all of a sudden, the hole that you thought you had closed up, and all of a sudden, you see a bunch of drivers starting to spin around you there. You're able to stay out of it and keep that car, for the most part, in good racing condition, and it helps you out here as that could have took you out in a quick hurry, but all of a sudden, you race your way up to the front of the field. You and your teammate, Jack Simpson, working well together late in this race, trying to control both lines out there on the speedway, and even up to one of you is here late in the race, and you're able to hold Jack off and hold Dalton Wicker off and all these other amazing drivers as you pull that 36 right up here into the Daytona International Speedway victory lane for our first race here of the season, as our clash coming to a close here, and you're able to pick up that checkered flag.
Yeah, it was a great race. The team did really well together. I don't know what I think Jaden was involved in that yellow near the end of the race with like 15 to go. I don't know what happened to him, but I mean, Jack worked great together, and we found each other there and blocking traffic and lanes. And yeah, that first wreck was disappointing, and I thought I might get hurt bad. Only like 20 seconds of damage, but fast. We're really fast, and once we got up there, no one could really remove us. Great push from Dalton. And all around a well-executed race. So, yeah.
Absolutely, definitely a well-executed race, especially when you can have your teammates up there at the front. As you said, Jaden getting tied up in that little bit of a scuffle down the back straightaway. Somehow or another, we didn't see a caution flag, as no yellow coming out there, as all the drivers that were running into issues were just down and off the racing surface and on the apron there. But all of a sudden, it takes one of your teammates away from you. What was kind of going through your mind right there, as you knew it was going to get that much more tougher, knowing that it was only you and Jack up there at the front of the field trying to hold these guys off?
Yeah, it's definitely a shame when we don't have 3 guys, right? Like 3 guys, we can really work together a lot more. We can block lanes way more, but we did everything. Obviously, it's disappointing, but us two, Jack and me, we did really good at managing our race still, and we just picked great lanes and we knew what to do. So I'm really happy about this. And we used to be a 2-car team anyways, so we're a little used to it, but still sucks. And Jaden will bounce back next week in the season opener, and hopefully Jack gets a good run too. The whole team, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, luckily enough for this race, no points, just starting positions for our Daytona 500 here next Thursday. So knowing that you're going to be starting in position number 3 for that race, and having, Jack only a few spots back there behind you, but Jaden a little deeper in the field, how does that affect your strategy? Knowing that the starting positions are locked in, do you play it safe and try to race at the front of the field, or do you, maybe try to take the fate into your own hands and roll a little farther towards the rear of the pack and trying to avoid a big one here early in the race?
I like to be up front because I think me and Jack, we control this race. We control the pace and the tempo. And when we're controlling the pace and the tempo, we know what's going on. In the back, checkups or like what happened earlier at the net code, like that can happen. Not intentional things, but unfortunate things. And unfortunate with, living in Indiana, Wi-Fi is kind of bad sometimes. But yeah, I think what we need to do next week is go to the front, stay up front, and put ourselves in the same position we were tonight.
Absolutely. Well, man, off to a hot start here. Obviously, a bit of a momentum builder, being able to pick up the first checkered flag here in the clash and being able to, know that you can get a good starting spot in our season opener next week. Gage a great run and a great race here this afternoon, man. Who would you like to thank, though, for an amazing run and being able to pick up the win here at our Buttkicker clash this afternoon?
Yeah, we got to thank all the teammates, the team, Premier Setups, the 213 Simware, all our sponsors that come on this car, Tom Stacy Taters, everyone that's on these cars. And we bring hot, fast race machines here. I thank my family, my girlfriend, everyone, who supports me and is a big piece of my life. And I've finally got a checkered flag, and I can't thank it enough. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, Gage, we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack next week for our season opener here with the Hypershift Racing League, and maybe the same events and same turnout, maybe seeing that 36 ride back up here in Victory Lane to start the season.
Thank you, sir. You have a great night, and hopefully.
Yes, you as well. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and don't party too hard down there in Victory Lane.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for the 36 as Gage Wenzel picks up the checkered flag here in this one. A great run and a great drive there for the 36 ride as we'll get ready to pull in. The driver who is right there behind him, trying to beat him down across the line, dove down to the inside. Unfortunately, just didn't quite have enough to get it done here in this one as we'll get ready to pull in the 77 ride of Dalton Wicker as Wicker comes home in position number 2. Hey, Dalton, it's Aaron up here on the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. To get a copy?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Dalton, much brother, man. A great run, a great race here for you as another driver that we talked about here throughout this race as you got tied up in that first caution flag. First, I would say the big one, honestly, because we didn't really see any other major wrecks other than that one throughout this afternoon. But you get tied up in that, you get a little bit of damage, but here you are. You bounce back quickly, race your way up towards the front of the field, and all of a sudden, late in this one, you're trying to make some moves, trying to find the right dancing partners, and a little help there, trying to get around those Premier Racing setups rides late in this race. And you were almost able to get it done, just coming up by a few feet shy of the checkered flag here this evening. Take us back through this race and what's going through your mind right now as the dust and smoke has settled here at Daytona.
Yeah, we got out of the big one pretty easy. Just little trip through the grass, got it fixed up, no damage. Pretty lucky for that. Took out a bunch of cars, so that was really good. Just try to take our time, save fuel, wait till we could get to that last run, make sure we were good. Caution really worked out in a good spot for us. I was about to lose all the drafting help, so that worked out well. And yeah, got some good pushes late, a lot of help. I was kind of surprised Jack and Gage split up there at the end. I thought we were going to have a more clear shot at it, but everybody raced really well. Happy that we could put this on.
Absolutely, a lot of great racing, a lot of great side-by-side, a little bit of three wide out there at times on the racetrack, and a great finish here as you were trying to beat those guys, trying to size them up and find a lane and find a moment to strike there, and as you pull down low, trying to find something there at a corner number 4, obviously we see Jack throw a little bit of a block there on you. Yeah, they're trying to move around and you jump up and trying to beat that 36, and unfortunately, just a couple feet shy here this afternoon, but Dalton still a great finish and a great start here to the season. As you'll know, you'll be able to start our first points race now in position number 4 when it comes to our Daytona 500 next Thursday, man. You know, how does it feel knowing that you'll be up there starting at the front of the field in that first race of the season?
Yeah, it feels great. Puts us in a really good spot, get the season started. You know, hopefully can keep it up front all day. I'm looking forward to it. I'll have my teammate back. Just doing it by myself tonight, just trying to blend into the field. So excited to have him riding with us next week. We'll try and link up, see what we can do to break up that party for 24, 36, and 40. They were really strong. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for Tony today. He did a great job. So really fun time. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, Dalton, is there anyone else you'd like to thank here for such a great run and great performance this afternoon?
Just thank everybody that joins. It's really fun that we can all get together every week and do this. I'm looking forward to the season.
Absolutely. Well, Dalton, we look forward to seeing you back out there in action next Thursday night, and maybe one spot better and up in victory lane yourself.
Yes, sir. Tiny toes.
Absolutely, brother. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, Dalton Wicker, as Wicker comes home there in position number 2. A very solid run, a very solid drive right there as Linda O'Keefe says, way to go, Gage. I knew you can do it. And Jackson says, Jack Jr. is in the car. 24, Jack Sr. is the fan. Keep her going, boys. Yes, Sersky Jack. Hey, that's kind of what I thought. You know, that's kind of what I thought. I wasn't 100% sure, but I'm glad I got that cleared up, so it's not confusing to me if I think that you know, Jack Jr. is in the car texting and driving while he's out there on the racetrack. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. No, I'm just kidding. These guys are talented enough, and Daytona's long enough that you could probably type out a message or something during the caution flag, or even just rolling down the back straightaway. You could probably type out a comment or two and keep on just keeping yourself pointed in the right direction. As we'll get ready to pull in our third place finisher here this afternoon, the 54 line of Justin Hendry. As Hendry comes home in position number 3, we'll get ready to pull him up here into the broadcast booth as Michelle Rittenberry also coming in with that subscribe, coming in, becoming a brand new subscriber here on PeaceMaker Gaming, and Jonathan Cogswell also coming in, hitting that subscribe button. Jonathan, welcome to the PeaceMaker family, welcome to the PeaceMaker crew, coming in, smashing that sub button here this afternoon. As Ali New also says, congratulations, Gage. Well done. Cheering on Gage as well over there on Facebook, because we're live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure you guys check us out on all those channels and become part of the PeaceMaker family on all of them. And make sure you turn those bell notifications on. That way you never miss it when we go green flag racing here on PeaceMaker Gaming. As we'll get ready to pull in our third place finisher as Abe Later, I don't know how you want to pronounce that. Just pronounce it Abel, but it's spelt Abel. Okay, yeah, see, I thought it was a bell. I figured it was Abel, but you just never know. You never know with everyone, how, you know, different locations and everything else. I'm from Ontario. I'm from Canada, so we speak completely different than a lot of people, especially being so close to Quebec and learning French and everything else. And, you know, not like I speak a lot of parlez-vous français, but, you know, it makes it very tough sometimes, just trying to guess on how people pronunciate it as. Jack says, great job, Gage. Well done, 24 and 40. Congrats. Yeah, that was a great race by them all, man. That was a great race, and I appreciate that. Abel Ader. I'm hoping that I pronounced that one right for you over there on the YouTube stream, as we'll get ready to pull our third place finisher up here into the broadcast booth. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up here for Justin Hendry as he comes home in position number 3. Hey, Justin, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yeah, 10-4.
Justin, man, a solid run and a great drive here for you all afternoon. We saw that 54 right up inside the top 3, top 5 pretty much all evening, making moves up on the high side, the bottom side, and dealing with a lot of different dancing partners, and late in this race trying to make those final couple of moves to get yourself into that fight for the win. Unfortunately, you come up just a couple spots shy, but able to still park it up here on the podium and keep a lot of fast cats back there behind you, man. Take us back through this race and what's going through your mind right now as the checkered flag has been thrown.
Well, that was a heck of a race, wasn't it? Yeah, me and Zach Wilson had a pretty good strategy going on. He was right there before we did that pit stop. He was doing some major pushing, and we were able to keep it out front there for a long time. Had a strategy working. We were hoping timing work out properly, and get those guys getting that, when we come back out pitting off sequence like that we would have been right there with that draft. And we had some fuel concerns, but it all was going to work out for us. And that caution there through and kind of put us in the middle of the pack again. We had to fight back up towards the front.
Yeah, absolutely. The caution flag kind of really breaking things open. But man, oh man, oh man, you guys were fast all night long, continuing to battle up there at the front of the field and up and through the middle of the pack, as we saw Zach try to race his way back up there. Just kind of ran out of time to help you out there late in this race, but you were able to find a couple different dancing partners and be right there ready to strike at the right moment in time and able to steal at least a top 3 finish away from a lot of drivers here this evening.
Yeah, I was right there behind Dalton there towards the end, last 2 laps I think it was, and he come to the try over there and he put it up high, so I decided to go with him, even though it was just us tandem against, I think it was 4 cars on the inside, and just tried to stick it to his back bumper and and get that side draft going. And then the 36 came up and gave us a little bit more of a run. Kind of made the draft move up a little bit, but just came up a little bit short. But it was a heck of a run, and it was a blast. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it definitely looked like a lot of fun out there, man. A lot of fun, a lot of great racing, and it comes to a close here this afternoon, but you'll be able to stir up inside the top 5 when it comes to our main event and our season points opener here at Daytona next Thursday night. So you just start a little closer to the front of the field here. You're going to have some more fun out there on the super speedways, and another opportunity to try to put that 54 ride up here into victory lane, man. But who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance out there on the racetrack here tonight?
I just got to thank all the guys back at the shop and the teammates in RTR Motorsports and Zach Wilson, Brian Fine. Guys are great teammates, and we've been racing together for a long time, and we work together really well. So you can't thank those guys enough.
Absolutely. Well, we can't wait to see you guys back out there on the speedway next Thursday. And Justin, hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth, maybe a couple spots better, and finding your way into victory lane here from 1 week from today.
It's going to be an exciting race. I hope everybody enjoys it.
Absolutely, brother. Justin, enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Justin Hendry. Hendry comes home in position number 3. A very solid run, a very great day at the Speedway for that number 54 machine as he comes home in that 3rd spot. As Zach Wilson in the chat over there on YouTube says, way to go, Hendry, cheering on that 54 ride. A solid run right there. Both drivers working well together throughout this evening, and seeing one of them up there in the podium is definitely a good job and a great race. As Jaden New says, congrats, Gage. Well done, Jack, and the whole 2430 team. Good start to the year. Yeah, great start to the year for the team. Jaden, you were right there there as well, trying to make some moves and trying to be with your teammates late in this race at the front of the field. Unfortunately, contact there down the back straightaway sent you down through the apron, and a lot of drivers unfortunately saw their nights kind of come to an end right there. They kind of knew that they were settling in for a long run without a lot of drafting help deeper in the field, and unfortunately you were one of them, and that's just a tough break right there. But we'll see you bounce back and jump right back into the action here at Daytona International Speedway. Next Thursday, as the season will get underway, the official season will get underway, as the Hypershift Cup Series Buttkicker Clash here this evening comes to a close. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and showing the love here all evening long, man. That was a ton of fun, a lot of great racing action, a lot of back and forth, a lot of side-by-side 2-wide, 3-wide action there on the speedway, and it comes right down to the wire here at Daytona International Speedway once again. But out in front, Gage Wenzel able to pick up the checkered flag here this evening and winning the Hypershift Cup Series Buttkicker Clash here in 2025. We can't wait to see you guys back in here, though, and next Thursday for the next race here with the Hypershift Series. But we'll be back in action tomorrow night. We got a season finale tomorrow afternoon. That's normally our Sunday race, but moved to Fridays here for Super Bowl Sunday, where my Philadelphia Eagles are going to beat up on the Kansas City Chiefs. I know, hot take, but we got to go with my Eagles, man. Always got to go with my Eagles, and hopefully we can get some revenge on KC from a couple of years ago. Hopefully we can. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Everyone coming in, showing the love, cheering on these drivers, cheering on your friends and family out there on the speedway, and just tuning in and watching, man. I can't thank you guys enough. And if you haven't already, you help us out a ton here on PeaceMaker Gaming. All you got to do is hit the like button, drop a couple comments, even if we're no longer live and you're rewatching this and you get to this point, drop a couple comments on the stream, and make sure you hit that follow or subscribe button. If you're watching over on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, make sure you guys become part of the PeaceMaker family today, and make sure you turn those bell notifications on. That way you never miss it when we go green flag racing here on PeaceMaker Gaming. Well, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys back here in the next one. Peace out for now, baby. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.
In the digital world he shines bright, full send all day and all night. with all his might. Peacemaker's here to make it right. Through the controllers, battles begun. Every click, every move, he's won. Streaming wisdom under the sun. Victory's anthem just has begun. Peacemaker Gaming all day, send it full dose sway. In the virtual lands we play, leading the charge in our own way. Pixels and wires, his domain. Glory found in every campaign. Shelter from reality strain. With Peacemaker there's no pain. Battles fought in every zone. From his cherries never alone. Full send on the audio tone. Peacemaker's name is known. Eyes on screens, dreams he weave. In his world you can't believe. Through the levels never leave. The magic of gaming we perceive.